Good evening, everyone. Severe other Team 9 meteorologist Nathan Chuff for this edition of Nate at 8. We're tracking some lingering showers for this evening before a drier stretch of weather will finally return. We're getting out of the dreary, chilly almost really and wet weather that we've had as of recent. Already trending, of course, drier today, but still some lingering showers, and we're going to notice even less shower activity as we look ahead for your Memorial Day weekend. And that's a bit of what we're going to be talking about for this edition of Nate at 8. Those showers will be ending early on tonight. Pleasant Memorial Day weekend ahead. And while it's still rather cool for this time of the year in general through Memorial Day, we are going to be tracking some warmer temperatures next week. So if you've been hoping for some more warm afternoons, you're in luck, but still going to have to wait here likely about another week before we start to track some warmer afternoons. Time lapse overlooking Wheeling, seeing the mostly cloudy sky, at least spotting some sunshine returning today. Then again, a few of those lingering showers. You saw one just pass there into Wheeling at the time lapse, and we're starting to see a little more clearing there in our skies at this current hour, that 8 o'clock hour, but still some of these lingering showers as you just saw. You may have been noticing these later sunsets that we've had, and certainly now is the time that we're dealing with these late sunsets, especially here over the next couple of months. The sun will set here at 8:39 p.m. this evening, but for tomorrow evening in one day, it's 8:40, and from there, it's past 8:40 until we get into the end of July. So in a matter of a month, it's even closer to 9 o'clock, 8:56, June 23rd, July 23rd, 8:45, and again, it's right at the end, towards the end of July, then that will fall back below 8:40 for sunset. But certainly here over the next couple of months is those late sunsets. We get to enjoy some of those later evenings. Current temperatures across the area are falling back through the 50s. Today at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport only made it to 58 degrees. So for 2 days in a row, we've dealt with records in terms of cold, high temperatures. So for the 23rd of May, that record was 59 degrees, was the coldest high for May 23rd for the Wheeling area, but managed to beat it again with a high of 58 degrees. So 2 days in a row, records, but not record warm highs, record cold highs. So the record some of us not wanting to set, but we did here again today with those temperatures coming up short of 60 degrees. Another unseasonably cool day across the Ohio Valley. Austin, good evening. Today was a cold, windy day, plus the grass hasn't been growing. Those cooler temperatures helping with that, isn't it? Are we going to have a sunny, warm Memorial Day weekend? Austin's asking about Memorial Day weekend, and almost time to dive into that. Just one more minute, and we will start diving into the Memorial Day weekend forecast. Good evening. Do we have these temperatures last Memorial Day? Renee's asking, and I have to go back and see what we did have last Memorial Day. It's a good question there, Renee. Lola, good evening. Nathan, today was better than yesterday. Certainly was in many aspects, wasn't it? It's hard to spot some sunshine, still cool, but drier as well. So certainly it was nice to see at least some sunshine return with those drier conditions. And someone's asking, hello, is it just me or is it colder than usual for May? And yes, we just talked about how we're dealing with some records in terms of cold, high temperatures. So the same for yesterday, the same for today. So it certainly puts into perspective of just how unusual this is for the end of May for us here in the Ohio Valley. That yes, this is records in terms of how cold it is for May 22nd as well as May 23rd. Some new records now on the table that were set for this year with highs coming up short of 60. So look at clouds and radar. There's those lingering showers. Again, notice how quickly these are going to be tapering off now as the sun sets. So they're for this evening, but here by early tonight, they likely quickly taper off. So the vast majority of the overnight hours will be ending up dry. And during this stretch is when we're going to likely notice some clearing in our skies going into tomorrow morning. We can see some clearing. That breeze we had for today that Austin was mentioning will diminish. So the wind's starting to become lighter. We see some clearing in our skies, and we see those dew points closer to 40 degrees, and we can see those temperatures then follow and end up back closer to 40 likely by tomorrow morning. So it's a chilly start, but then a warmer end. We'll climb back mid-lower 60s tomorrow afternoon. Good amount of sunshine present in general for Memorial Day weekend. I think it's a mix of sun and clouds, but again, in general, it's a decent amount of sunshine. And you'll notice there's not a whole lot of precipitation that Futurecast is picking up on either during the stretch over the next 3 days. And while Monday's Memorial Day is more of a morning sunshine with an increase in cloud cover as the day progresses, especially by Monday evening. We're dealing with more cloud cover, a lot more cloud cover at that point, and then likely more of a cloudy sky developing Monday night. That is out ahead of then the following round where showers will be likely. But for this weekend, it's a slight chance at most. So we have great odds that we are dry the next 3 days. Going to be a good stretch to get out and enjoy the outdoors. catch up on some yard work. Going to be a great stretch of weather to do so, as this weather's not going to be impacting any outdoor plans that you do have. You're going to mix the sun and clouds in general during this stretch. High temperatures will climb further in the 60s this weekend. By Memorial Day on Monday, then likely will top off around 70 degrees. A couple things to mention as we go, or one thing to mention, but a couple times to watch for it as we go through the weekend, is the series of mornings. And not to say it's going to be real widespread or dense, but I wouldn't be surprised if we can spot some fog, at least in spots, the next couple of mornings when we have little cloud cover. Those winds are turning light, and the dew points could very well be the limiting factor in how much we cool. And they'll be right around 40 degrees the next couple of nights. So those low temperatures can be nearing that 40-degree mark as well the next couple of nights. Just something to note. Again, likely nothing real impactful, but just could spot some fog the next couple of mornings. So our precipitation throughout the next 7 days, you'll see very low the next 3 days, right? It's doubtful that we're dealing with any precipitation the next 3 days. That story then quickly changes by Tuesday, and it's likely that we're dealing with some showers, and it's likely some showers stick around looking ahead to next Wednesday as well. So a couple days there we'll deal with some of these showers. By Thursday and Friday, it's possible. Still a little more of a question in terms of the rain chances later next week, but it is possible we'll have to dodge some additional showers and thunderstorms going into next Thursday and Friday as well. That we'll be tracking some of those showers and thunderstorms later next week. So that's why I say the next 3 days is a good time to get out, take the opportunity of this dry stretch and maybe catch up on yard work or just enjoy the outdoors in general. I know it's obviously not going to be real warm during this stretch, certainly not poolside weather, but nonetheless, it's pleasant weather to be outside, certainly more so than what we had for yesterday or really even for today. But this is the sea of blue for a lot of the stretch still over the next 7 days. Temperatures warmer than the 50s that we've been in, but in terms of dealing with temperatures back even above normal, we're likely going to have to wait more so at the very end of this month to beginning of June. So this is overall still a fairly cool stretch for this time of the year. Our average highs are climbing in the mid 70s, and we'll get close to that for some of these days. But as you can see, we're really not dealing with much in terms of seasonable temperatures, or not anticipated to deal with anything above normal here over the next week. That story then can change, but we're going to have to wait a little more time, likely looking ahead more so going into early June. So your 9+1 day forecast, that increase in cloud cover Memorial Day on Monday, that will be out ahead of more showers Tuesday into Wednesday. Again, we can see some showers and thunderstorms persist next Thursday and Friday, and then that chance does look to fall off as temperatures will climb further in the 70s then for next weekend. And then for next Monday, those temperatures can get closer to 80 degrees. So that's when we'll start to see likely temperatures further in the 70s, maybe some 80-degree days in the mix. But again, that's pretty far out at this point, likely over a week away before we start to see temperatures that warm. But at least here near term, nothing as cool as what we saw for today anticipated, though, or yesterday. We're not likely back in the 50s. We would hold 60s to 70s. So not quite as cool as the past couple of days, but still, cool for this time of the year. Those highs are climbing further in the 70s. Again, low 70s to mid 70s are the averages here now going into next week. So we'll see those average highs start to climb up a bit here as we wrap up May. Austin saying, what's the record for 80-degree or more in May? So what's the record for 80-degree or more days? Like how many days in May? And it's a good question. Something I can easily find. I need to have my climate site here bookmarked for you guys. You guys asking some great climate questions, but fortunately I just don't know them off the top of my head to answer it. But I certainly can look up some of this climatology questions that you have. It's interesting to know how many 80-degree day or more we've had, and what's the record for most for the Wheeling area. Also asking the temperatures last Memorial Day as well. So those are some great questions. I think I need to bookmark. That's going to be the homework assignment for me. So I can pull up some of these. I can look up some of this climate information on the fly here during these to be able to answer for you guys instead of having to go back and look for it at a later time. But yes, some good questions. Unfortunately, don't know it off the top of my head though. All right, everyone. Well, thanks so much for tuning in on this Friday evening. I appreciate it as always. I hope you had a wonderful week. And I know today less than ideal, but I promise as we go through the weekend, some better conditions. Not warm. I wouldn't say this Memorial Day weekend's warm, but certainly not as cool as today or yesterday. We're back 60s this weekend, and then closer to 70 on Memorial Day. And of course, the good news is that we are likely dry over the next 3 days before those showers will quickly return into Tuesday. We can spot some even into Tuesday morning. So even by the beginning of the day, Tuesday, we can spot some of those showers moving in. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, you can catch me coming up tonight still at News 9 at 10 on Fox 9 News 9 tonight at 11 for the latest. And you can tune into that next edition of Nate at 8. I'll be back Tuesday. So you can tune in next Tuesday for that next edition of Nate at 8. Of course, until then, make sure to stay tuned with Chief Meteorologist Jeff Exline leaves in tomorrow morning, Saturday morning for the latest. And then a Severe Weather Team 9 meteorologist Amanda Variable in for the remainder of the weekend and into Memorial Day on Monday as well, into the evening on Memorial Day. Jeff will be in the morning. So make sure to stay tuned with them as we go over the next 3 days. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend and a safe Memorial Day. And I'll see you all on that next edition of Nate at 8.